Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a former gymnastics coach pleads guilty to sexual abuse and possession of child pornography. And volunteers come together in Knott County, building 3 homes in 1 week for the 3rd straight year, all in an effort to provide housing for flood survivors.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning and a happy Wednesday to you, Mountain family. I'm Amelia Lee here with you on this June 18th. We're just about at 5 o'clock this morning, and it is time to check on in with meteorologist Megan Dusmall today. Megan, we had a little bit of a drizzle this morning outside, but is that the case as we go through our Wednesday ahead?
Yeah, unfortunately, we still have a lot of chances of rain and storms in the forecast for most of your day. There is a little bit over the break as we're heading into the evening, but I'll get to that in just a little bit. Here's a look at what you can expect as you're heading out the door. Temperatures sitting in the upper 60s and low 70s. Warmest temperature right now 73 in Monticello this afternoon. We'll see temperatures mostly in the mid 80s once again. Now we are having a little bit of fog this morning as well, but it's not as dense as it has been the past couple days, so there's a positive there. Still keep in mind that we do have some clouds in higher elevation, so as you're driving up into the mountains, you might need to be a little bit careful. This morning, here's a look at what we're seeing. Some lightning as we travel just south of our region, but for the most part, just looking at some light to heavy rain this morning. We'll continue to see those chances throughout the day. Storm chances highest as we're heading into the overnight hours, going into the early hours of your Thursday. Here's a look at that 12-hour forecast. Again, storm chances will be on and off throughout the day with a little bit of a break later this evening. But don't forget, we do have those storm chances tonight going into tomorrow. Amelia.
A former gymnastics coach pleading guilty to sexual abuse and possession of child pornography learned his fate in a West Virginia courtroom yesterday. Lance Spencer pleaded guilty to sexual abuse by a guardian and possession of child pornography with multiple consecutive sentences now. These incidences happened at a home and at a gymnastics center in Huntington where Spencer coached.
I was flabbergasted. Like I said, I've never seen people come in and speak so eloquently and in support of someone with a conviction such as these, not only the assault on the victim, but also the child pornography. But I think it shows that he was a groomer.
The assistant prosecutor says it will be 17 years before Spencer sees a parole board, and he could serve up to 45 years under these consecutive convictions. It'll be followed by more than 50 years of extended supervised release. Students in Kentucky could once again be required to learn how to write in cursive. WYMT's Neely Green spoke to officials about Senate Bill 167 going into effect and what this will mean for students, parents, and educators in the Commonwealth.
Senate Bill 167 requires cursive writing be taught in all elementary schools beginning in the 2025-2026 school year. Senator Lindsay Tishner is a sponsor for the bill. She says cursive writing will benefit the education students get.
We're going to start to see an increase in overall education as kids are able to retain knowledge better and able to process reading and comprehension skills better just through the simple, old, proven method of cursive writing.
The bill also requires that 5th grade students be proficient in cursive writing.
When you're starting with the younger grades, they're going to have a lot more time. So our older kids this next year or two are going to really be having to focus on developing those skills if they don't already have them.
Alicia Duff is a response to intervention coach at West Perry Elementary School and is also a parent. She says her children comment on her own handwriting.
Things that I write, because I'm fluent in cursive, they're like, what are you writing? Is that a foreign language? No, it's not a foreign language. It's cursive handwriting. It is an unknown abstract thought to them because they've never seen it. It doesn't exist in their world.
She says cursive can improve students' handwriting and reading abilities.
It is so important to get back to it, and not only for past documents, not only for signing your name, but students who can write in cursive are much more fluid writers.
Perry County schools are planning to revise their curriculum in mid-July. In Hazard, Neely Green, WYMT Mountain News.
Senator Tishner says it's ultimately up to the school districts as far as how much they implement handwriting in their middle school courses. Well, Governor Andy Beshear announced the new public health commissioner for Kentucky. Dr. John Langfield will succeed Dr. Stephen Stack next month. Stack is taking on a new role within the cabinet for health and family services. The governor praised Dr. Langfield's experience in clinical care, healthcare policy, and Medicaid services. Langfield provided a statement about the move, saying in part, quote, "I am honored to continue serving Kentucky in this critical capacity. My focus will be on shifting our focus upstream from not only treating illnesses, but nurturing health and well-being. Our true measure of success will not just be the treatments we deliver, but how the people in our communities grow healthier, stronger, and more resilient." A former state representative and Eastern Kentucky native is getting a significant endorsement in her run for the 6th Congressional District. Yesterday, Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman announced her support for Democrat Sherilyn Stevenson's campaign. She's running to fill the House seat currently held by Representative Andy Barr, who's running for Mitch McConnell's Senate seat. Stevenson is a Knott County native. Officials with SOAR have announced a major step forward with an infrastructure project. Officials say Rye Development, a renewable energy company, submitted an application to the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission for the Lewis Ridge Pump Storage Project in Bell County. Construction for this project is planned between 2027 and 2031, and it'll create roughly 2,300 construction jobs and apprenticeships. A team of volunteers from Maryland are building 3 homes in just 1 week in Knott County. It's part of a Blitz Build led by Dream Builders. It's a faith-based group that travels the country to help communities recover from disasters. They're working alongside the Housing Development Alliance to create safe, affordable housing for families affected by recent flooding. The group includes volunteers of all ages, from teens to retirees, all coming together for one common goal.
Last year, we got to spend a pretty significant amount of time with one of the flood victims, and just to hear their stories. And, you know, what they always say to us is they can't ever thank us enough. But what we have learned is no matter how much we give, we feel like we got more than we give in a trip like this.
Dream Builders plans to finish all 3 of those homes by Friday, rain or shine. A new feature of the Toyota West Virginia's Biodiversity Trail is an apple orchard. Teresa Brown is a member of the American Gold Star Mother of West Virginia, which is a nonprofit organization made up of mothers who have lost a child in service to the U.S. Armed Forces. The West Virginia Gold Star Mothers partnered with Toyota West Virginia to plant a living memorial. Dog tags of the fallen were placed on each tree with a moment of silence to honor each soldier.
A place to come where they can remember, where they can honor those that have served our country, and hopefully bring some peace.
This orchard makes the 12th one in West Virginia honoring fallen soldiers. Well, yesterday marked 10 years since terror struck in Charleston, South Carolina, when a white supremacist fatally shot 9 people during a Bible study at the oldest African Methodist Episcopal Church in the South, known as Mother Emanuel. During a memorial service, mourners reflected on those who were gunned down in the same historic house of worship a decade ago. The senior pastor was among those killed. His daughter remembers President Obama delivering her dad's eulogy.
I can distinctively remember at 11 knowing the magnitude that President Obama held. It gets a little easy to forget sometimes that I'm 21 and that my dad died when I was 11.
In the aftermath of the attack, Dylan Roof was convicted of murder and federal hate crimes. This tragedy sparked nationwide debate about displays of the Confederate flag and other commemorations of the Confederacy. It's 5:08. Thank you for getting your day started with us on Mountain News this morning.